Hey guys, Project Zodiac here. I'm back with another video, and this is another movie review, and it's my next review on the Christopher Reeve Superman movie universe movies. This one is Supergirl. So if you guys haven't seen my other Superman movie reviews, there's a playlist where you can watch them in chronological order, and these are being released in anticipation of the new Superman movie coming out in July, which I'm very excited for. So yes, this one is for Supergirl. It's the Peninsula movie in this series chronologically, and it's one that I'm really excited to talk about, but it's also one I don't have too much to talk about. This first section is going to be spoiler free, and then I'll go a little bit into a spoiler section towards the end of this video, but again, there isn't really too much to talk about. So let's just go straight into it. If all you want to know is just my quick general thoughts, I thought that this movie was pretty fun. It's not the best and it's not the worst in this universe. It's still really fun. I think that the actress does a fantastic job as Supergirl. The costume looks great. Some of the supporting characters are pretty nice as well. Even though Christopher Reeve isn't in this movie, there is a picture of him as Superman in this movie, which I thought was pretty cool. So it does connect it with this series. And it was just also nice to see other Kryptonians as well. And what they kind of explain about that. I also think that the movie itself has a very interesting and unique premise with it. Like the villain has supernatural abilities, which I thought was really cool. She's basically like a witch. And I thought that was really nice, pretty cool to have, like aliens versus a witch. I thought that was a really cool concept. In regards to how the rest of the movie is, special effects is fine. It's not the best, it's not the worst. In regards to the movie script itself, I think that I would say that that is one of my biggest complaints that I can talk about right now in the spoiler free section. It's just, I think that the story does it really well, but the movie can be very slow at times with not a lot happening, because it also kind of focuses on girl drama a lot. And again, nothing wrong with that. It's just it definitely feels like a totally different movie than what it is. So it does feel a little bit off in regards to that. But other than that, I think that again that the movie is pretty enjoyable and pretty fun. I do think that this is a worthy movie to watch for sure, and it has some nice charming moments in it for sure. But again, not the best out of the Christopher Reeve universe Superman movies, but also not the worst. So those are my quick general thoughts on this movie. I thought it was pretty well done. You could tell that they were having fun with it. There's a lot of creativity with it. There are some bigger issues than some of the plot scripts that I mentioned. It is things regarding the plot though. So I do have some complaints with that, where some things just needed more explanation. That's the best I can say without going into spoilers. But other than that, again, very fun movie. So that's it for my spoiler-free section. If you guys want to sit and watch the rest, which is my spoiler section, please do. If you don't want to be spoiled, it's understandable. So if you don't want to stay for the rest of the video, thank you for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. But for those of you that do want to stay for this particular spoiler section, thank you for staying. So let's just jump straight into that. So really there's only maybe three things that I need to talk about, which is spoiler filled, and most of these come down to my criticisms and complaints with the movie. And that's mostly about the fact that, one, we're not told how there are other Kryptonians. It seems like, they're in a different dimension or a different planet, but it's not fully explained properly. I do think it is a different planet, but they should have definitely explained that a lot better. They should have explained how it is that they know that Superman is on Earth. I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense if Superman's blood dad basically sent his family, who was in this station somewhere, news about what was happening with Krypton and what his plans were. That's how it makes sense for me, that he told them just as he did tell the elders of Krypton, because he also told his wife. So that's something that I think was needed to be included, but it makes sense, when you think about it, that this is what happened. So I can't be too mad about that, but also at the same time, they don't really explain how it is or why it is that this group of Kryptonians are on a different place. So that is something that needed to be explained. Another thing that I think needed to be explained is the fact that, well, they are aware of Superman and never bother to go to Earth to see him. In over 30 years that he had been living on Earth, they never bothered to go see him, even though they know about him. So that definitely needed to be explained. Just because it makes no sense that they're aware of him, they know that he's on Earth and that he's protecting Earth, because even when Supergirl gets to Earth, she's like, "Oh yeah, that's, I know who that is. It's Clark, is my cousin." So it's like, so you know about him. How is it that you know about who he is? Like his actual human identity. How do you know that? And why is it that you've never made contact with him? Unless there's like a in-between story of Superman 3 and Supergirl where Clark is flying in space and then meets them and finds them out or something like that and tells them about him, but we don't really know. So if you headcanon it, that could be a way, but it is a bit complicated in how they handled this plot, because it just wasn't really explained. And on another note as well, another thing that I didn't really like with the writing is, again, there's a lot of moments where it's just drama, like girl drama for no reason at all, which I did mention, and that just kind of took away from the pacing. Like the villains, one of the villains' goals is to be with Supergirl's love interest, and she's jealous, so she casts a spell to make him like her, but then he's able to break free of that spell because he likes Supergirl. So again, that's fine. It's just there's a lot of moments like that, where it kind of sticks out, and then there's just a lot of slow moments as well. Also, just her going to Earth, it felt a little bit forced. Like she knew what that machine was for, yet she just goes and sits on it as the older people are arguing, and she just goes. So I think that could have been handled a little bit differently as well. And I mean, it's cool that we get to see the Phantom Zone and how it is on the inside. But I wish that they did a little bit more with that too. So yeah, there's a lot of things here on the script, which is they bring something up, but then they don't address it, or they introduce something cool, but they don't go further with it other than the introduction. In this case, the Phantom Zone, and then in the other case, things regarding Clark and Supergirl and all of that. So yeah, I think that was really interesting that they handled it this way. And one last thing is, really, they just don't really explain how Supergirl is his cousin. Obviously, we know that he has a cousin that is Supergirl in the comics and movies, animated movies, and all of that. But in terms of the family line thing, it would have been nice if they explained a little bit more about the family dynamic between them. Like, is she a older cousin? Is she a younger cousin? Are they about the same age? It seems like she is a younger cousin because she goes to well, that's the thing though. Like, she goes to school, but it's not really clear if that's college or if that's high school. Or maybe they said and I just didn't notice it, because her friend is the love interest of one of, I forgot his name, Jimmy, I think, one of Clark's friends from the Daily Planet. So it's one of the recurring characters. Yeah, I think it is Jimmy, and he comes back from the other movies in this one, and he's a love interest of Supergirl's friend. So yeah, I don't think that they're in high school. It does seem like they are in at least like college or something. So yeah, maybe she's around Superman's age because, Superman's around 30 something at this point, maybe closer to 40. So she could be a little bit younger, maybe in her early 30s, and doing like a particular major. But yeah, it's a bit confusing trying to figure that one out. So yeah, just things like that. I think they needed to touch on a little bit more. But overall, this movie was still pretty fun and enjoyable, and there was a lot of cheesy but a lot of fun and cool moments in it for sure. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Supergirl. Next is a movie that I'm very excited to talk about because it's one that I thought would be terrible based off of what everyone says. Um, and it's one I've only seen a few times, like maybe only once or twice when I was little. So I was kind of coming into the next Superman movie kind of fresh, basically, um, other than with people saying it is terrible. So let's just see what I think about the final Christopher Reeve movie chronologically, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this movie or the other Superman movies. And yeah, please just watch the other videos as well. All right, have a good day, everyone.